Adam EposVox here, and I wanted to showcase a couple of examples of other webcams that can produce a 720p 60 FPS video signal, as the C922 from Logitech was announced at TwitchCon yesterday. And it's a very hectic weekend for me, so I can't do a whole lot of video work and stuff in general at all. But I will be getting the C922 here in the studio hopefully very shortly. Logitech's pretty good about getting me webcams, and they already agreed to send out what was supposed to be their new webcam very soon, so I should have it in the studio soon to do a comparison. And in that comparison, I will touch on their background removal versus the Intel RealSense in this Intel RealSense camera here. But for the time being, I want to discuss the 720p 60 option, because that's what a lot of people are talking about with the C922, is that it has the ability to do 720p 60 FPS video. And that kind of threw me off, because the C920-C that I'm using here does 720p 60. The Intel RealSense camera that I'm using over here does 720p 60 frames per second. You know, 720p 60 isn't necessarily a new thing for webcams. Like I said, even the C920-C, which I reviewed recently, also does 60 FPS at 720p. The problem is, with these webcams, they are so finicky about how you set them up to get 60 FPS, or to even get 30 FPS. A, it's nigh impossible, and B, it's frankly not worth it. It's mostly a gimmick. Like, you can't really tell. If you're sitting here doing a reaction, you can't really tell the difference between a small corner with your face in it at 30 frames per second versus 60. You really can't. It is mostly a gimmick. And plus, you have to get so finicky with the settings for the webcams. Even the RealSense one, I thought it was just a Logitech thing for a while. But using this Intel RealSense camera. So this video obviously doesn't look great. It looks pretty washed out and like orange. But if I go in and like change the actual settings and customize them a little bit to make it look better. Okay, that looks loads better. But now look at my hand. In the Logitech webcam, you can almost see every single frame individually of me waving. On the Intel camera on here on the right, it's all super blurry. Now it's still 60 FPS and it's still fairly smooth, but motion suddenly gets really blurry. That's turning it into manual mode. Turn it back into auto mode, it looks like crap, but very smooth. It's kind of the opposite with the Logitech webcams, in that you have to have everything super on manual in order to get a smooth frame rate, and then it's very difficult to like fine tune the exact setting you want, because if you have it on like auto mode here, then it starts to get, it's probably not going to change it mid-recording enough to show you, but if you don't have the Logitech webcams on manual mode, then they will start showing super like blurry and non-smooth video themselves. It's a really frustrating thing, and so I don't see 60 FPS on a webcam being that important. I saw a lot of comments on the Linus Tech Tips video. I believe they're one of the first ones to have a full video on this up, saying like, oh shit, I just bought a C920. Why? And honestly, stick with the C920. Like, if you just bought a C920, just use it. Like, it's fine. Like, no one's going to notice the difference, really. It's not that big of a deal. Now, if you, for whatever reason, you want your entire, like, full screen 60 FPS stream to be your webcam, then yeah, but there's not a whole lot of benefit to that either. Like, I will always make this argument that a talking head video of just sitting here, like, vlogging or talking gains no benefit from being 60 FPS, and a lot of people really don't like seeing like face videos at 60 FPS. It makes them like nauseous and uncomfortable and stuff, and there's no benefit to it. 30 FPS is just fine and how it should be for that kind of content. So you do have other options. The C922 will launch for about $100, whereas the C920 is now $50. The C920-C is about $80. So if you just want the 60 FPS option, you can get the C920-C for a little bit cheaper. Doesn't come with the XSplit license though. Or if you want to spend the extra for the Intel RealSense cameras like the Razer Stargazer, then those will be like $150 for the background removal thing. And again, this is just to discuss the 60 FPS topic. In terms of the background removal, I will need the C922 in studio to do a comparison of my RealSense camera versus that moving forward. But like I said, I should have it soon. But yeah, that appears to be the only major difference between the C920 and the C922, is a slightly like cleaner lens and the ability in the background removal software and the ability to do 60 FPS, which again, you can do on other webcams. So let me know in the comments down below with what you would like to see me cover on the C922 on the whole, like what you'd like to see about it besides those features, and I will try to touch on them as I can once I get it here in the studio. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome tech videos, and have a good weekend, because I'm going to be pretty much completely offline for it. So have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. I also want to take a moment to give a huge thanks and shout out to our recent Patreon subscribers. Without you guys, these videos would not be possible, and I thoroughly appreciate your help. Visit patreon.com/EposVox to learn more.